Alright, we're going to tie a fisherman's knot. I hope you can see that line. So if you wanted to, of course, you could take a hook and tie it right onto the end of your line. But there's a good reason why you don't want to do that. There's a couple of good reasons, actually. If you get that tied on there, and then you want to change hooks or a different lure, different bait, whatever, then you got to cut your line and then tie a new knot, and it's going to take you a long time to do that. It's not very optimal. So what you do instead is you put a swivel on the end of your line. There's a swivel, and it serves a couple of purposes. One, you tie the line on this end, and you can see this end opens up like a safety pin, and you can hook your hook onto there and then close that shut, so you can change hooks or baits or lures or whatever as much as you want on this end here, and you don't have to cut your line or do anything else, all that extra work. It also serves the purpose, as the name suggests, it swivels, which means it turns here in the middle. It turns freely. You can see I'm holding this end steady. This turns by means of this ball in the middle, and what that does is it prevents the action of your lure from twisting up your line over here, or if the line is already twisted, it prevents that from affecting the action of the lure, so the two can operate independently of each other. Now, let's hope that my old eyes can do this properly. It gets a bit tricky. So there is the end of my line. This goes through the end of the swivel, and then you double it back. So I've got about 2 inches doubled back there. And what you got to do is you've got to twist the line. But as we just mentioned, the swivel is designed to prevent that from twisting, so I can twist, twist, twist here, and it's hardly twisting that line at all. So I find if you hold it down onto a surface and then twist like this, you can see the line is twisting up there. Now I've got this end of the line here, and if you look closely this way, you can see right down next to the swivel, and you can see the shadow better than the line. There's a loop in the line right at the end of the swivel. And what I have to do is, whoops, I let that go by mistake. What I have to do is take the end of the line, put it through that loop in the line down near the swivel, and then pull everything tight. So that means this end, this is going to be difficult to do, this end now gets doubled back. You can see I've got it doubled back here, or I hope you can. And I've got to fight with these old eyes to get it through that hole. There. I think I have it there. Once you get it through, you hold it down here. So I've got the end here, you can see. And there you can see what it looks like now, hopefully. And then I just pull the two ends, and it'll make a perfect fisherman's knot. There. And now I can pull that to my heart's content, and it's just making it tighter. So then what you have is, oh, and I screwed up my swivel somehow in doing that. I pulled the end out of my swivel. So now I have my swivel here. If I want to put a hook on or change my lure or whatever, I just put it on. Now these things can sometimes be hard to operate with your fingers. The smaller ones more. This is a gigantic one. I put a gigantic one on just to make it easier to see for this video. So it's not too hard to operate with your fingers. If it is hard to operate with your fingers, you should already have a pair of fisherman's needle nose pliers for pulling hooks out of fish, and you can use those to operate the mechanism, the open and close mechanism here. And that's as easy as it is right there. That's how you tie a fisherman's knot.